Well, spring is almost here, so as we get back into our regular work, many of us notice our horses look different than they did in the fall. Today, I'm introducing you to one part of your saddle fit that you must feel confident about before you start mitigating these changes: your panel suitability and your channel width. You need a baseline to know if your saddle is still a functional match for your horse's unique shape. So, take a look at this photo. I love this because it's completely represents the classic spring scenario. If you look at the red arrows that I've drawn, you'll see the saddle is tipped forward into a downhill balance. The front has dived into the hollows behind the shoulder, which has caused the rear of the panels to pop up off the back. This gap at the cantle is a major red flag, and it's often caused by the winter contraction we've been talking about in this series. So before you attempt to shim this, you must be certain that your saddle's channel and panels are appropriate. So we check that the channel width is clearing the supraspinous ligament and resting exactly on the longissimus muscle, the weight-bearing shelf of the back, we call it. If you've learned about how to match your horse's saddle tree and panels from my book, or if your saddle fitter gave you the thumbs up when your horse was in peak condition and you for fit to your saddle, at that point, you can have confidence that the panel shape is correct, even if your horse has shrunk away from it at this time. So, this confidence is what allows us to be strategic rather than random with our support. We don't just stuff a gap. If you shim randomly to prop up a tipping saddle, you risk creating a fulcrum. It's a pivot point that drives the rear panels or the front into the horse's loins or shoulders. And so I guess I'd love to show you more. So stay tuned for the second part of this video. You might be wondering, how would I be able to tell how wide the tree is in my saddle? Because we're going to get into this, because that's your channel. Your channel isn't just what's between the panels. Your channel is what I showed you earlier on the tree. Okay? Your channel can only be really as wide as the tree. Okay? So let's say I need a 4-finger channel. The narrowest part of this tree is 4, I have fat fingers, 4 fat fingers. Okay? Let's look at this on the saddle. Okay, so you got your leather cover, and you're going to have a piece of foam underneath it. But you can still feel, you can feel the springs and you can feel the tree. So I'm going to depress this, and hopefully you can see. I feel that strap right there. Can you see where I'm kind of making a line? That's my spring, okay? On each side, I can feel that. So that the tree is going to be inward of that. Now, I'm feeling the wood. Remember I said that 4 fingers? These are the same trees. I'm going to show you where that is. It's at the narrowest part. So, okay, there's one edge. Here's another edge. I can feel them. You're going to have to trust me on this, but hopefully you can see a little bit that here's one edge. My pinky's hitting the other, okay? So you can feel for it. You can. It takes a little practice, and but I want you guys to get comfortable with taking ownership of some of these things. The main reason is that when you have, okay, so I got 4 fingers between my panels, I got 4 fingers between my tree. I've seen a lot of saddles, and there's a picture on my website, I think on the customization page, that shows some really big, wide, flat panels that are set, and the channel's like that wide. Well, you know what? You feel for the tree. The tree's no wider than this. It's actually a little narrower. So I put when I took it apart, I took pictures of the saddle tree and of the actual saddle panels as it came, as nice wide panels. So why does that matter? Well, the tree is the supporting structure, and the panels have to align with the tree. If they don't align with the tree rails, they're not supporting the tree. If they're hanging off the edge, then you're going to have what? Tree panel air, because the outer edge of the panel is going to be out in midair. Okay, just something to think about. Wanted to share with you because I wanted to show you why the tree matters. And this is going to come down to matching it to your horse's shape and getting it to where you have to be comfortable with learning how your horse lifts its back. That's another thing. And this is some of the things that I teach, some of the things I share in my Facebook group, which is